Hey all, greetings to everyone. Welcome back to Samswar, your weekly compliance tracker. We are Samswar Advisory Private Limited, a one-stop shop solution for all of your compliance needs. As promised, we are back with the weekly updates related to global compliance. Before we proceed, let me remind you all to click on the bell icon below to never miss out on any regulatory update that might affect you as a business entity. Let's proceed with our headlines this week. The French government releases the draft finance bill for 2020. The French government presented the draft finance bill for 2020 before the French Parliament, which will now be subject to discussions in the following week leading up to various amendments. Key highlights include increase of corporate income tax rate from 28% to 31% for taxable income in excess of 500,000 euros for companies with revenue equal to or higher than 250 million euros for financial years beginning on or after January 1st, 2020. Transposition of anti-hybrid provisions designed to tackle hybrid instruments as well as hybrid entities under the European Union Anti-Tax Avoidance Directive. Decrease of staff expenses taken into account as qualifying expenses in case of research and development from 50% to 43%, thus adjusting the research and development tax credit. Avoidance or limitation on the amount of withholding tax paid or payable by branches of entities located in European Union member state or in another state that is a part of the European Economic Area Agreement if they are able to demonstrate that their profits have not been divested out of France. The final version of the Finance Bill 2020 will be enacted by the end of December 2019. Amendments to the Value Added Tax Directive and the Value Added Tax Implementation Regulations set to be effective January 1st, 2020 in Italy. The Value Added Tax Directive and the Value Added Tax Implementation Regulations, collectively referred to as the 2020 Quick Fixes, are set to be amended, and the date for the said amendments to come into effect is January 1st, 2020. Key amendments include a mandatory check of the customer's VAT identification number, increased legal certainty and harmonized application of VAT rules when determining the VAT treatment for chain transactions, including triangular transactions, modified VAT rules for call of stock arrangements for uniform application in the European Union, identification of documentary evidence to be used to claim zero rating for intra-community supplies. There are certain steps that taxpayers may want to consider for the January 1st, 2020 deadline, such as verifying that all customers have a VAT identification number that appear in the VIES database, validating the current VAT treatment of chain transactions by all taxpayers, and validating current procedures for collecting and retaining documentary evidence of intra-EU transport of goods. Updates to the Canadian Labour Code. Two new important updates on the changes to the Canadian Labour Code that will impact federally regulated employers have been introduced in Canada. First, Part 4 of the Canada Labour Code. The federal government announced the Part 4 of the code, the Administrative Monetary Penalties. Administrative monetary penalties range in value from $200 to $50,000 to address widespread non-compliances with Part 2 and Part 3 of the code by giving the government additional enforcement tools. Secondly, new employment standards under Part 3 of the Labour Code. On September 1st, 2019, the employment standards came into force under the Part 3 of the code, and accordingly changes are suggested to work hours, overtime, leaves, pay and certain other definitions. Stay tuned on the publications page of our website for a detailed report for changes in the Canadian labour law. That's it for today. I request you all to like and share our content. Feel free to comment below with any queries that you may have related to compliance. We will do our best to solve them. You may also contact us through our Twitter handle, Facebook handle, LinkedIn page or our website. Links in the description below. Until next Tuesday then. Thank you.